The ancient Americas were known for their beautiful and intricate woven cloth designs, which showed animals and religious symbolism from across their cosmology. Some examples include these woven tunics from the warrior culture of the Andes in South America. Although very intricate designs could be achieved, they were all made with a very simple technology known as the backstrap loom. This technology is simple enough that it can be easily recreated at home. Today I will show you how to make your own woven bookmark using a backstrap loom.
For this project, you will need 2 warping pegs, 2 colors of yarn for your warp and weft. I like to use macrame yarn because it has fewer loose fibers that can get stuck on one another. A lighter weight thread to create your heddles and sheds. Embroidery thread works well for this purpose. 2 pencils and 2 rubber bands, a pair of scissors, a note card, a large binder clip, 2 dowel rods. I like to use 1/4 of an inch thick by 12 inches long. You can also use a pair of knitting needles or pencils, depending on the size of your project, a wooden or plastic ruler, and a shuttle. You can also use a pencil with yarn wrapped around it. So let's get started by creating the warp threads. Those are the long ones. The weft threads are the ones that go across. We're going to create our set of warp threads using our warping pegs and one of our 2 colors of yarn. Attach your warping pegs firmly to the table so that they will not move. Make sure that you have at least 6 inches more than the length of the bookmark you want to weave. Tie your yarn to one of the pegs and start wrapping them around the 2 pegs using a figure-8 pattern. Always doing your figure-8 in the same direction. This will create a twist in the middle of your warp thread, which will create 2 sets of threads that can be exchanged with one another to create the weaving pattern. You can count them by counting the threads on the warp peg that you started with, not counting the first one that you tied down. It is important to keep consistent tension on the yarn as you are warping it. Now you want to preserve the area where your figure-8 crosses by putting pencils in the middle here and securing them with rubber bands. You can also tie additional strings around your warp threads on either end to ensure that they don't slip out of their pattern when you're moving them onto your dowel rods. Use one dowel rod on either end to catch all of the threads, trying to keep them in order so they're not overlapping each other. Also pass it through the 2 knots that you have tied on the other end of your warping threads on the knotted end. They overlapped a little, so I'm straightening them out now. Now we're ready to go set up our backstrap loom. You'll need to attach one end of your backstrap loom to a fixed point. The easiest thing is just to use one of your warping pegs. Attach the side with the knots to your fixed point, and the side with no knots will attach to you. tension on the yarn with your body, which you also can use to keep this end from tipping one way or the other and potentially falling off the bar. Now it's time to set up our heads. Take a long piece of embroidery thread, pass it underneath the top layer of work yarn, put the tail between two fingers, and pull up a loop of thread from underneath, from between each of your top layer of yarn, and wrap it around your fingers. Tie the end to the tail that you have between your fingers. And pass another thread through the whole lot. That is called your string pedal. Capture all of the threads from the other side of your figure eight. Simply pass some thread through underneath the top layer of yarn on the other side and make that into a loop as well. This is called your shed. Once your pedal and your shed are in place, you can remove the pencils that are maintaining the figure eight pattern. Tuck your note card between the two layers of yarn. This will ensure that there's space left at the end for you to do fringes on your bookmark. Now lift up your shed, pop it open using your ruler. These will lock your note card into place, and then you can leave your first row. This is your first weft. Use your ruler to open up a space. Pass your shuttle through the space. Use your ruler to beat it down flat against the end. Now we're going to open up our pedal. Pull up on all of those and pluck the ones from the other half of the figure eight down. Keep your pedal open with the ruler and pass your left thread through again with your shovel. Keep that down with your ruler and again open your shed. And you just continue like that, alternating between your pedal and your shed until you have your bookmark the length that you want. Now we will gradually cut and tie off our fringes. Go about the same length that you have on your bottom. Just take two fringes and tie them into a knot and go like that all the way across. Now take the note card out, up the loops, and do the same to the other end. And there is your finished bookmark from your Backstrap loom.
Thank you for weaving a bookmark with me today. I will leave a website with more information on backstrap weaving in the description of this video. This website will show you how to weave more complicated projects as well as multiple different patterns.